Coming back to problem solving in arithmetic progression. In the previous video, we learned how to solve two of the possible problems that you might be asked on arithmetic progressions. So we saw how to determine whether a sequence is an AP, and you can also find the common difference D. These two problems you should be able to solve. In this video, we're going to do the next two problems. We're going to see strategies for finding the nth term of an AP, which is Tn, and we're going to find a way to find the number of terms in an AP, which is n. So to begin, let's recap something we had looked at earlier. This is an arithmetic progression, and we will use one of the first naming systems that we'd learned for the terms of an AP. So we call the first term A, and if we know the common difference D, we can find all the remaining terms, right? We can name them. The second term will be A plus D, then A plus 2D, A plus 3D, A plus 4D, and so on. And if you remember the nth term, which we called Tn earlier, that formula would be equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So this is the formula that we are going to use to solve problems in this video. The nth term Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So notice that there are four terms in this formula. You've got Tn, which is the nth term. You've got A, which is the first term. You have n, which is the number of terms. And you have D, which is the common difference. Now all the problems in this section, they will give you three of these terms and ask you to find the fourth one, which will be unknown. So for example, they might give you A, n, and D, and you will have to find Tn. Or they might give you Tn, A, and D, and you have to find n, and so on. So three terms will be given to you. The fourth one you will be asked to find. So the way to do that is the given three terms you just plug into this equation and you solve for the fourth term. As simple as that. So let's look at some problems. So you're given that A is equal to 5, D, the common difference, is equal to 3, and you're asked to find the first three terms of this arithmetic progression. So we write down our formula for Tn. Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So we can plug in A and D since they're already given to us. Putting A equal to 5 and D equal to 3, we can rewrite our formula saying Tn is equal to 5 plus n minus 1 into 3. Now, since they've asked us to find the first three terms, meaning we have to find T1, T2, and T3. So obviously we will substitute n equal to 1, n equal to 2, and n equal to 3 to get our answers. So let's do that. Therefore, T1 is equal to 5 plus 1 minus 1 into 3. That is 5 plus 0 into 3, which is simply 5. Similarly, T2 will equal to 5 plus 2 minus 1 into 3. That is equal to 5 plus 1 into 3, which is 8. And finally, T3 is equal to 5 plus 3 minus 1 into 3. That gives us 5 plus 2 into 3, which is 5 plus 6, that is 11. So we have our answer. So we say the first three terms of the arithmetic progression are 5, 8, and 11. And that solves this sum. That was pretty easy. So again, I recap the strategy in these problems is that you use this formula, and once you know three of the terms, you simply plug in those three and find the fourth term. Let's look at another problem. So here we're given that studying 1 hour per day will get you 10 marks in an examination. Studying 2 hours per day will get you 15 marks, and studying 3 hours per day will get you 20 marks in the examination. And you are required to find how much will studying 7 hours per day get you. How many marks will you get if you study 7 hours per day? This does not look anything like what we've seen so far in the problems, right? So our first job, our first task is to convert English into mathematics. We need to translate this into mathematical language. So when you look at what is given, 10 marks, 15 marks, 20 marks, it looks like an arithmetic progression, right? You add 5 to each previous one to get the next term. It should strike you that 1 hour per day must be your first term, T1, 2 hours per day must be your second term, T2, 3 hours per day must be T3, and 7 hours per day must be the seventh term, T7, which is what you have to find. So knowing this, we can start writing this in mathematical form. So we will say T1 equals 10, T2 equals 15, T3 equals 20, and T7 is what we need to find. Looking at this, we already have two pieces of information. One is we know n is equal to 7. Other thing, we know our first term a is equal to 10 because we are given already that T1 is equal to 10. So next we need to find the common difference d. How do we do that? We take any pair of consecutive terms, let's say T2 and T1, subtract them and find the common difference. So d is equal to T2 minus T1 is equal to 15 minus 10, which is equal to 5. Now we know three of our four terms. We know a, n and d. A is equal to 10, n is equal to 7 and d is equal to 5. So let's write down our formula. Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, and as I said, we know a, n and d. Let's plug in those terms. So Tn, or T7 rather, which is what we need to find, is equal to 10 plus 7 minus 1 into 5. And when you solve this, you will get T7 is equal to 40. Therefore, we've solved it. Studying 7 hours per day gives you 40 marks. Now we come to the final problem in our section. So you're given an arithmetic progression and you're given 4 terms of the progression. The progression is 100, 104, 108 and 200, all the way up to 200. And now you're asked to find n. So how do we go about this? First we write what we know. So T1, the first term is 100. So write T1 is equal to 100. Similarly, T2 we know is equal to 104, T3 is equal to 108. And the last term, or Tn, is equal to 200. This is all that we're given. From this information, we can see immediately that the first term a is T1, which is equal to 100. So we know a. The next thing we can find out is the common difference d. How do we find that out? We take a pair of consecutive terms, let's say T2 and T1, we subtract, and that gives us our common difference d. So d is equal to T2 minus T1, which is 104 minus 100, which is equal to 4. Now, what do we know? We know T1, that is our a, is equal to 100. We know the common difference d is equal to 4. And we know Tn is equal to 200. So we already have our 3 terms out of 4. And all we need to do is plug these 3 into the equation and find the unknown term n. Let's write out the equation. It's Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Plugging in the things we know Tn, we know a, and we know d. So Tn is equal to 200, a is equal to 100, and d is equal to 4. Put that into the equation and you get 200 is equal to 100 plus n minus 1 into 4. So now we take 100 to the other side and 4 also in the denominator. So you get n minus 1 is equal to 200 minus 100 upon 4. That is equal to 25. So therefore n will equal to 25 plus 1, which is 26. And we've solved our last problem of this section. So I'll see you in the next section, and thanks for watching.